We owe our first debt of gratitude to John and Victoria Couris for bringing you into this world, along with your sister Joan, on January 4th, 1961. And let it be known for the record that you were born 3 minutes before Joni in Providence, Rhode Island, and grew up in Seekonk, Massachusetts. After high school, you attended community college and graduated with a BS in accounting from Bryant University in 1983. Recognizing early on your talents as a jeweler, your career started with J.B. Rudolph Jewelers in New York City, which at the time had the jewelry departments in all of Bloomingdale's department stores. After New York, J.B. Rudolph transferred you to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where you met the famous, beautiful Mary Matz, and on July 11th, 1992, you were married. You and Mary wasted no time when on December 19th, 1993, Kristen entered the picture and was the light of your life. Everyone here knows how much both Mary and Christy meant to you, John, and their love for you was equally evident. In 1995, you were recruited by Ross Simons to run their first retail store outside of Rhode Island in Atlanta. It was during those years, in 1998 to be exact, that you happened to be sent to Beverly Hills for a month to train the newly acquired team at Couris, which had recently been purchased by Ross Simons and it had added jewelry and watches to their merchandise mix. That trip changed your life. We will never forget the last night you were in Los Angeles before you returned to Atlanta, in El Cholo's on Western Avenue, where you decided, after quite a few margaritas, I'm sure, to imitate absolutely everyone who worked at Couris at the time. Some of us are still here today. You fell in love with Los Angeles during this month, and you knew that someday you would come back to live and work. None of us knew when or how that would happen, but eventually it did. In June of 2005, you were hired by the famous Boston jeweler Shreve Crump and Lowe and moved home to be near your family for 18 months. And then were recruited back to Atlanta to work for Mayer's Jewelers until it was time for that call from Los Angeles. Even though your roots were Rhode Island, with your New York attitude and your New England accent, you were destined for Hollywood with your bright colored clothes, dark sunglasses, of course Rolex watches, and your style and swagger fit right into Beverly Hills. In 2009, when Couris opened its first Rolex boutique in Century City, you were tapped to lead the team, and lead it you did. From recruiting, training, supervising, selling, the team you made sure that every year you made plan. There wasn't a day went by that you couldn't immediately tell us how many watches you sold that week, that month, that year, compared to last year, compared to last month, compared to what was being sold. You didn't quite like being told what your margin was compared to other stores, but we'll leave that for another time. John, you were always the life of the party. So much fun to be around. You loved to dance, you loved to eat. You didn't drink much, but although you wouldn't know it because sometimes you acted like you did. But you were ready at a moment's notice to have a good time. During all the festivities at Casa Ben Bassett, you were the sous chef, which really meant you cleaned up after Chris. But you were also taught how to make great guacamole, Greek salad, and set a beautiful table, which came from your training at Couris. John, you were always around. You were always great to be around and lend a hand, and you were always the most fastidious neat freak. Mr. Clean was your middle name. Hearing stories of you doing laundry in the middle of the night. John, you are also Mr. Christmas, evident by the fact that we will be serving dinner tonight on Lennox holiday china. That was your favorite holiday dinnerware pattern. You were the first to put up your tree and the last to take it down each year. In fact, if the guests want to see how much Christmas decor you have, it's stored under the stairs in boxes and boxes and boxes. Just so you know, John, not to worry. We will make sure that all your Christmas decor makes it home to Florida. Athena promised you that. John, 5 years ago, when you were faced with the frightening news about cancer, you never stopped fighting. Even when it was evident that your body was slowing down, you still continued to be courageous and as involved in life as you could, and that was quite commendable. Not many would have had the strength that you showed, coming to work, to events, being present to family and friends. You are not going to let this get the better of you. But at the end it did, and we're all mourning this loss, John. This letter does not begin to let the stories of our individual friendships with you and our special moments we shared from time to time that we met until your dying day. Whether you were our son, our brother, husband, father, cousin, colleague, client, or friend, you have shown us what goodness is. We hold these memories in our heart with deep gratitude, John. Rest in peace. So now it's time to celebrate, and there's lots of food and drink available, so please, let's celebrate John's life the way he would like it. And thank you all so much for coming.